I don't think Sasha's parents are monsters like the Northwest's, nor do I think that they are callous and overtly trying to sabotage their daughter like the Blights in the Owl House. I also do not think that they are good people, and I certainly do not think that they are good parents. Sasha is starved for affection and tenderness, though she would never admit that to anyone, not even to herself. Now, when I talk about affection, I do not mean veneration, I do not mean approval. Sasha can get plenty of that through her charisma, her leadership, and her manipulative skills. She can get people to respect her and do what she wants, and the family wealth she is implied to have does not hurt matters either, though it's also not essential to her skills as a speaker and a leader, as seen when she comes to Amphibia with basically nothing but the clothes on her back and still manages to rise through the ranks. But she does not have tenderness or support. What she wants is for people to care for her and to think of her as a good and moral and just person for reasons that are not pragmatic or transactional. She wants to be valued for herself and for her own moral qualities. Sasha, perhaps even more so than Anne, really cares about doing what's right. She agonizes over this, whether she'd admit that to herself or not, which is why it hurts so badly when she's constantly on the wrong side of things. Now, to a certain extent, her desire to have others appreciate her for her, and to view her not just as a fun or cool person, but as a genuinely good and heroic person, is admirable. It's certainly more than I would expect from your average teenager. However, in the case of Sasha, you can see how that drive for approval can go too far. It can, in extreme cases, come from someone not having a clear sense of their own self-worth, and I think we have reason to believe that is at least partly the case for Sasha. She is much more insecure than Anne or Marcy, and she regularly questions the value of her own life. This is most apparent in Reunion. At the end of that episode, after she realizes that she has not been a good friend to Anne, she suffers existential doubt and malaise, and she wonders if Anne is better off without her, then commits what can't quite be called just self-sacrifice or just suicidal tendencies. It's kind of in that weird gray area between the two. Now, obviously, an unstable home life is not the only explanation for her distressing tendency to question her own self-worth. And it is not the only explanation for her burning, almost extreme desire for others to view her as a noble and fair-hearted person. It is, I believe, a reasonable explanation given everything else we know about Sasha. Think about how she refers to Anne's parents, both in Reunion and in True Colors. Once is a mere occurrence to be analyzed. Twice is a pattern that absolutely demands to be taken seriously. Sasha, in both these episodes, criticizes Anne's parents harshly. Now, since we know Anne's parents, especially in Season 3, and they have been pretty much perfect, not that they're completely angelic, flawless people, but they're perfect in the sense that they're not cruel or petty or callous. They try their best to care about their daughter and do what's best for her. Considering this, it's a bit odd that Sasha seems so vindictive toward them. The only reasonable explanation seems to be that Sasha is speaking from her own experiences, whether intentionally or otherwise. Perhaps Sasha is jealous of Anne's own family, considering Sasha's family situation seems dire and chaotic. That Sasha's parents are divorced does not entirely explain Sasha's disdain for Anne's stable, healthy family, but it should be considered a contributing factor. For Sasha, love has never been guaranteed. Her family situation is unstable. She does not really feel that she's been given enough love and support. She feels the need to prove herself, to justify her existence. She develops a strong sense of independence from an early age. She's self-driven and self-motivated. These are not bad qualities, and on one level, it can be commended that Sasha is able to be so precocious and be able to articulate a clear plan for what she wants for her friends and what she wants in order to gain the affection and attention of these friends. From what we've seen of Sasha in their middle schools, she was very popular. She has people fawning over her, but that's not the same as people who actually respect her and care about her for her. That's what she wants, and that's why she's so invested in her friendships with Anne and Marcy. She's great at convincing other people to do what she wants, and she has solid social skills. But that's not the same as being able to form deep connections. Those are two entirely different ideas. She's not so great at forming close and reciprocal connections with people. Anne is the exact opposite. Anne does not have that savvy social wit. She does not know how to see through people and how to control the circumstances to her benefit. She is just too earnest, too hard on her sleeve. Sasha's the exact opposite. She has those skills, but unlike Anne, she doesn't know how to just reach out and be super honest and form those close, intimate connections with people because she's desperate to be in control. She does not want to dominate her friendships with Anne and Marcy. What she wants is a sense that those friendships are stable. She wants a sense that her friends view her as this paragon of justice and goodness. And so they will respect her and they will depend on her and she can be there for them. But in Beryl's Warhammer, she becomes irate when she believes her friends are succeeding without her. If her presence is not beneficial to their flourishing, who is she? She doesn't know. She becomes irate because anger can propel her to action. It can compel her to make decisions that will hopefully help her try and repair these friendships with Anne and Marcy, or at least get her in a position where she can repair those friendships. The only other response available to Sasha is despondency, sinking into complete desperation and depression, which is what we see from her at the end of Season 1. Now, it's a bit sad that these are the only two options Sasha sees. Her desire to do what she believes is best for her friends, to be that heroic figure, actually puts her at a distance from her friends and stops her from being able to form the kinds of strong connections that she really yearns for and cares about. There's a tragedy to that. Even if Sasha envies Anne's strong, stable family, she does not act only out of envy. If she is envious, it is probably unconscious. There are no friendships that Sasha values more than her friendships with Anne and Marcy. Now, I would go a step further and say that there are no relationships of any kind, or no achievements of any kind, that are as valuable to Sasha as maintaining these friendships. Think about True Colors. She succeeds in her plan to help the Toads take over Newtopia. She's done them a great service, and they all respect her and praise her, and yet she's not satisfied because she's let down Anne and Marcy. Grimes kind of has a point when he tells her to just forget about them and celebrate. I mean, we obviously want her to care about Anne and Marcy because we've spent all this time with Anne and Marcy. But if you're in Grimes' position, you could easily wonder why Sasha just doesn't leave her friends who don't appreciate what she's doing behind. But Sasha is very much anchored to her bonds with Anne and Marcy. She wants them to respect her and like her for her. Not because she can get them anything, not because she's powerful, and not just because she can protect them, although she does value being able to do all that for them. She wants them to value the kind of person she can be. She wants them to view her as this fearless knight, and instead they feel betrayed by her. Aside from her bond with Grimes, these are the only real solid bonds she has. If she is envious of Anne, can you blame her? Anne has two strong, supportive, stable families, plus she can form these quick and powerful connections with so many people she meets. Marcy is jealous of Anne's ability to do this. I assume Sasha's jealous too. If you are Sasha and you've had to struggle and commit yourself to trying to get people to view you as a good, caring person, only to fail and see Anne just so easily have all these strong bonds in her life, some because of her natural social skills, some just because of luck, wouldn't you be resentful? We do not know Sasha's parents' jobs. Perhaps they are movie stars or lawyers or bankers. Perhaps they work long hours and they can never spend as much time with Sasha as they want. They don't hate their daughter, but raising her was not a major priority for them. They have their own individual lives and their careers to worry about. They give Sasha money and all the opportunities that wealth opens up to people, and they assume that that will make her happy, and it doesn't. They do not try to understand her. This creates a sense of tension that the divorce makes all the worse, leaving Sasha with a sour impression of her parents and a not entirely unjustified sense that her parents do not really care about her. She has no desire to return home by the end of True Colors, and we should pay attention to that. Sasha tries so hard to be supportive, to be heroic and moral and just, and to help her friends achieve their dreams, and it backfires on her and loses her all the support and love that she's so desperate to try to achieve. So thank you all for watching. If you liked what you saw today, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Donate to my Patreon if you can and you want to see more videos like this. Keep watching Amphibia. I really hope Season 3B is as excellent as I hope it is. And I really do want to see more of Sasha. I want to see her struggle. I want to see her try and seek these deep connections that will fulfill her. I want to see a little more of her parents, see what they're like, see how they've shaped her. The scenario I just sketched out is just a prediction, but I think it's probably accurate. Anyway, tune in soon for my next analysis. It will be coming soon. Thank you all again. Adios, comrades.